Hi, everyone. I'm Alexandra Blaney, the co-CEO and creative director at Shine Global, and I am so thrilled to welcome Felipe Holguín Caro, the director of La Suprema. Hi,
Hi,
Felipe.
hi, Alexandra. Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, we're so excited to have La Suprema as one of our nominees this year. It's such an enjoyable, beautiful film with both humor and heart, and it touches on themes of gender norms, poverty, racism, and it's also about a community coming together, and all because your protagonist, Loriana, refuses to give up on her dreams. So my first question is how did you develop this story and idea? And what was the writing process like with your co-writer, Andre Sierra?
Well, it's a story that we have since many years. Since 2010, we read this story written by another writer, a guy from Cartagena, where we are from. That he was inspired on true events on a town here in the Caribbean, in the Bolívar department where we are, called San Basilio de Palenque. And in this town, back in the 70s, it was a town that no one knew back in Colombia, that it was basically erased from the maps, that had no electricity, that had a lot of needs. And then they had in the 70s one of the biggest boxers in Colombian history. And in 77 or 78, I believe, he became a world champion. The first time Colombia had a boxing world champion. And the story goes that somebody from the government went to San Basilio de Palenque with a gift to the new champion's family and for the community. And the gift was a TV set. And when they received the TV, they were very upset because they said, we can't connect a TV. There is no use for a TV here because we don't have electricity. We need electricity. So from that moment on, San Basilio started to be on everybody's mouth, and be like on the radar of the country. And eventually they got electricity and they got the needs that they were asking for. So that was what really inspired the story of La Suprema. And since 2010, I started writing it and developing the characters and trying to find really what were their struggle, what was their struggle. And then 10 years later, we found the funds, basically, because you always need the funds to be able to make movies. And then when we got the funds in 2020, right after pandemic times, it was also a crazy moment to make films. We started. I invited also a friend to write with me, so we started writing together, and we started developing the characters. We found, because at the beginning the story was only like the community, it was like the community in this struggle, but no real protagonist. Like there was the character of the teenager and the boys, and then the frustrated trainer, and then for many versions of the script, it was the trainer who was the protagonist. But then very fast, this girl who was like the most ambitious and the one who had the most difficulties, in her dreams, became the most interesting character and the most powerful character too. So she became, eventually, the whole story became around her, around this teenager who wanted to become a boxer, and was with her grandmother, and was in this particular town, where nobody really wanted to do anything. She awakens everything, by this news of the boxing match.
Well, and can you tell me, she is the central character, and your actress for that, Elizabeth Martinez, is that her first role? Or can you tell us about that casting and how you found her? Because she really, carries
Yeah,
that role.
it's amazing. She's just wonderful. I found her when she was 16. We shot this movie when she was 16 years old. We were trying to avoid actually minors. We were trying to find the characters 18 and above because of the permits and all that. It was easier for production and all that. So we were casting. I did castings for over a year, almost a year and a half, looking for all the characters. Of course, looking for Laureana, and at the end, I had like very few great options. I have a few girls that they were really good, but you, like, deep down, your gut tells you. And I said, like, I don't think I haven't found her yet. So we opened it up, and I spoke with Tere, the producer, and I said to her, we need to search for girls or also underage, and also for the boys. I mean, let's try. And we opened up a casting for kids underage, under 18. Um, and then Elizabeth appeared in that casting call. And as soon as she entered the room, I was amazed. Everybody was amazed with her presence. She was so pretty, so amazing, so confident. And then I started to talk with her, and she was very smart too. And I was like, wow, this is like a jewel. And then I said, okay, let's do a test. Let's do an improv. And I gave her a couple of instructions. And the first one, she's no good. And because she came from modeling, and she dances too. So she's always very well put, like always, like, in front of her. She's very aware of the camera, so she's always smiling, and she's always, like a TV presentation. I don't know how you anchor, I think. So the first one wasn't that great, because she was like modeling and trying to be just perfect. And I said to her, no, you're not like this. You are completely the opposite. You don't care, blah blah. I don't remember what I said, but that second shot, she was amazing, and she showed me the character, and it was Laureana. I was like, okay, I just found her. She was amazing. She gave me the eyes, the look, that I was looking for. And then I said to her, okay, why don't you try throw some punches to the camera. And then she started throwing punches, like in a very girly way, like very, like she, like it. And so I said, okay, you need to go into boxing classes, because you need to have a little bit of sense of how to box. And then she went, and then the whole process of her preparing her for the screen was amazing, but because she was pure talent. But it was her first time in front of a camera as an actress. She, as I said, she dances. Her mom is a really important singer here in Cartagena, so she's used to the cultural and arts world, but not as an actress. This was her first one, and then just she did an amazing job. And then after La Suprema, she has come with other projects too on TV.
Oh yeah, not surprised. She was really, really incredible. Well, so you had a first time actor is that you as your lead, and then filming COVID, and it took you over 10 years to get the film off the ground. But what would you say was the biggest challenge when you were filming or making this film?
Well, I mean, everything is challenging, everything, since what you said, the funding, working on the story, trying to find the perfect story, the characters, building up the characters, and then surrounding yourself with the right team. It's key for me. That was key. Before La Suprema, I did several short films, both fiction and documentary. I've also directed feature documentaries. And one thing I learned through those experiences, through those projects, was that the team is key. The team is key, and this was my first feature fiction film. Was my first baby. I was been dreaming with this for all my life. Um, and then I knew that I couldn't mess it up. I can't mess this up. So I need to surround myself with the best. So So two things I did. It was my goal. First, the right casting. I cannot mess with the casting, so that's why I started off with a year and a half and trying to find the right people, the right cast, and then surround myself with people that has the experience that I don't have, because I have my experience, but I've never done a feature fiction film. So I worked with one of the best DP cinematographers here in Colombia, that he has over 25 films already here in Colombia. And then I also work with one of the best, if not the best, acting coach here in Colombia, to help me, prepare all this cast, that some were actors, but the majority were non-actors, not prepared. So that was key. And then just going into the finding the locations then was another big challenge. Finding the right location, finding La Suprema. With I guess you're gonna be asking about how do we find La Suprema, because it was amazing, and it was a breaking point in the project, finding the real Suprema, and then shooting over there. I mean, also the weather conditions here are very, very, very tough. It's very warm. It's very humid. Mosquitoes, all the time. It started to rain when we went to La Suprema, so we base camp like a weekend and a half prior to start production, and every day was sunny, sunny, sun, 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 sun. And then first day of production, when we break for lunch, starts to rain, and it was like big rain. And then since then, every day we had rain. It rained every day during production. It was crazy. There were moments that I was like, okay, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. But then we had a great team. We had a great AD that, and we were so compelled, and everything worked so well, that those decisions that we made in pre-production stages and development were key to survive.
I mean, sort of like in the film, it's about the community coming together to overcome. That's what filmmaking is too. I mean, every film has disasters, it seems.
Exactly. And one of our taglines for the film and to going into production was the same. It was stronger we are together. And everybody was with that mentality. So it was great.
Um, well, so these are the Resilience Awards. So I mean, you've already described a lot of resilience on the filmmaking side, and we've seen the film and the story of resilience, but how do you define resilience, and how do you think the protagonists of your film demonstrate it, Loriana and the community?
Well, I think resilience is about being very like passion about what you want to achieve, and also what you want in life, and to be like very like stubborn in a way, like just do and what it takes, to achieve your goal or your needs, or what you want in your life, to change what you need to change, and to pursue that goal that you have in front. Every character in this story, starting off with Laureana, of course, because she's the one that makes everybody change. But she's since the beginning, since the beginning, she's clear in what she wants. She's clear. She wants this. She doesn't know how, but then she finds a way, and this catalyst, this match, is just the realization moment for her to say, okay, I'm gonna do it, no matter what. It's just to do it no matter what, and it's just to wake up basically every day, and to walk towards that goal, that dream that you have.
Well, who do you hope is especially impacted by seeing La Suprema, and what are your plans for the film, taking it out in the world, and how do you see this having an impact?
Well, the first, it's the people from La Suprema. You know, this is their story. This is their true reality. This is what they live every day. You know, it's when we got there, and we started to talk with the community. We explained that it was a fiction film. So I said I was very emphatic on, we're not shooting a documentary, we're not shooting you as a person, but we are bringing actors and actresses. We're going to be using your houses as a location, so this is fiction. And then one girl interrupts and she says, but Felipe, you're telling us a story that is not fiction for us, it's our reality. And then when she says that, and I was shocked. I was like, wow. And then I said to her, yeah, and precisely because of that, it's why we need to shoot this movie here in La Suprema, to be able to tell your story. So it's really their story. So for us, it became also a mean to help them, in a way, to the movie, to be able to help the people of the town to find and to fix what needs to be fixed. They don't have, for instance, they do have electricity, but they don't have water, drinking water. So it's a big, huge problem for them. They don't have a proper school. They don't have a health post. So they have a lot of needs. So it's basically their story. So the first thing is that hopefully the film helps them to find the right things. Now the mayor of Maria La Baja, which is the town where they are part of, it's already like committed to build the bridge. The bridge that you see in the film, it's the real bridge they use every day to get into town, and it's about to fall. It's all rotten, and so they need to fix the bridge. So hopefully the film helps in that way, you know. And then the impact that the film has already achieved, in Colombia, but also in different festivals that we've been to, is just amazing how the story connects with everybody. Yes, it's a very regional story, but it's a completely universal narration. Everybody like connects to it. I have a friend a Japanese friend, an editor, that I sent the movie to him when we were doing a focus group, when we were still in post. And he said to me, I love the film because it made me remember my years in my town in Japan. And I was like, how did this took you back to Japan? And he was like, yeah, because my town also, it didn't have electricity, so we were like kind of the same. And that made me realize that it was a very universal story, so the impact, not only the impact that the film can have in my country, here in the region first, here in La Suprema, in Maria La Baja, in Bolivar, in Cartagena, and in Colombia, but also in South America and in the world. I think this is the type of stories that for me interest me, that it's not like, and also being from Colombia, that we are known for all these things that we are kind of tired of being known for, the narcotraffics and Pablo Escobar, and it's like we are not only that, we are so many things. I mean, in Colombia have so many stories and good people. Why are we not narrating the good people and the good stories? So that for me is it's cinema. For me, in that way, is a big responsibility, because I know the impact that it has, and I know how powerful it can be and how life-changing it can be for people, not only the ones that see the film in a screen or in a theater, but also the process of making films. It has huge impact. So that for us is as important as how do you do the film, and also the result. Both things are in the same level of importance.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad that we're able to share your film with more audiences here. And I want to tell all of our audience members that, you can follow La Suprema on social media, to find out where it's screening next, to tell your friends about it for when it's available for screenings here in the US. And also as an audience member, you can vote for this film. All the audience vote is going to count as our sixth juror in deciding who wins the grand prize for our impact campaign services. So make sure to vote after this. But Felipe, thank you so much for sharing your film with us, telling us the story. It's so much fun to hear this behind the scenes of how it was put together. I know I have so many more questions, but we could probably talk for hours more. But I want to thank you so much for sharing it. And
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alexandra. It's been a pleasure. I'm so happy to be here amongst these other films, amazing films that I can't wait also to watch. I haven't been able to watch them, but I bet they're great. So it's really an honor for us and to be able to to share the story with all of you guys. Thank you so much for having us.
thanks, everybody.
Bye.